Former Vice President Mike Pence said he would put boots on the ground in Gaza if he were president Friday. We're talking about Americans now, Pence, a 2024 GOP presidential primary candidate, told CNN anchor Jake Tapper. Jake, we're talking about Americans that have been captured and taken hostage by the brutal Hamas terrorists. Pence said he welcomed the release of two Americans taken as hostages by the Palestinian militant group Hamas during its attack on Israel earlier this month. I said the better part of 2 weeks ago, Jake, that if I was president, I would have already been on the phone with the Joint Special Operations Command. I would have given orders for Delta Force and the Navy SEALs to be prepared to work with Israeli Defense Forces to engage in hostage rescue. And then I would have told Hamas that you got 12 hours to turn loose every American, every Israeli hostage, or we're going to come and get them, Pence said. Biden said he was overjoyed at the release of the two American hostages yesterday in a statement. These individuals and their families will have full support of the United States government as they recover and heal, and we should all treat their privacy in this moment, Biden said. All respect their privacy in this moment. Pence isn't the only GOP presidential primary candidate who has said he would want American military force involved in the Israeli-Hamas conflict. Former Arkansas Governor Asa Hutchinson said Thursday he would ask Congress to authorize the use of military force against Hamas. As president, I would ask Congress to give authorization for military force against Hamas, Hutchinson, a 2024 GOP presidential primary candidate, said in an interview on News Nation. So, I had a soft spot for Pence, at the very least in this race, because you have this guy who, yeah, he's extremely right-wing on everything, but he did the right thing on January 6th, got chewed out, called a traitor by his party, even though they're actually the ones that are betraying democracy with their illegal attempt to overturn the election. But I digress. He took a lot of flack for something that I think to this day he is paying the price for electorally. I think if that hadn't happened and Trump wasn't running, he probably would be either the front runner of this race or one of the two top guys. But with that being said, I'm very disturbed when you have someone say they would give orders for American troops, the same troops that they love and they care so much about, to go and invade this foreign country as part of a supposed rescue operation. That's not something I endorse, support. I think the best path is negotiating. And there's always this idea by these old men running for president that they have to look strong. I'm gonna bomb here and I'm gonna send 50,000 men over here. But when you're talking about doing something with concern for American lives, you don't want to. I guess it is kind of like dealing with kidnappers. If you're a police officer, you don't want to do anything that you think might cause the terrorists, the kidnappers, etc., to harm the people that you're trying to get back in one piece. So he's God, I wish he was good on something. I really do. I wish there was one position here where I could say, hey, this was a pretty decent thing, and it actually makes a bit of sense. But I'm not really seeing anything either here or from his just general platform that I can agree with or give any assistance. I do find it funny that Hutchinson is being quoted. It's like Hutchinson is a guy who's been running for president for 7-8 months, and he's been polling at 1-2%, and has been so stagnant in his polling that he actually missed the second debate. He was the only person from the first debate that was able to get into that first and then go to the second one. So it's even funny that his words are considered to matter enough to where they're going to quote him in an article, because a lot of people probably would think he already dropped out from him not being at the second debate. But yeah, Pence's idea is goofy. He's trying to sound strong, and imagine Hamas. They're cowering in fear because President Pence said, "You got 12 hours to turn loose every American, every Israeli hostage, or we're going to come and get them." Hamas isn't even scared of the Israeli government that's right in their backyard, let alone some foreign government that, if anything, you're just going to invite more conflict with them if you make this weird. And why 12 hours? I've heard of a full day. I've heard of a couple of days. What's with the half a day schedules? Did he just like randomly pick that hour out of thin air? Like I said, I'm not sympathetic to Hamas. I condemn their attack on the Gaza. We've discussed that before, but I think any person who is serious about getting hostages back is not going to pursue military aggression if they want those people to come back and not be dismembered, incapacitated. I mean, there's all, and it's funny. Pence likes to trash Carter because he does his Reagan, worshipping, but Carter, yeah, spent a year trying to get the hostages back, but you could either say it's because of his patience or because of the fact that he didn't pursue any serious military intervention. They all came back in one piece. So this plan of his would backfire. I think if he tried it, he's never going to be able to try because he's not going to win his primary. And maybe there is some good. Like I did feel bad for him as far as I know he's losing for the reasons that he is are not necessarily fair. Like they're not things that a normal primary would see him losing over. But the guy just every position he has is either the exact same as Trump, who actually has a record to run on of like being president before, or it's like so extreme that no one wants to touch it, like that 15-week abortion ban or the 6-week abortion ban, which is you're banning it at a time where most women don't even know they're pregnant. So he's just this extremely far right guy who, after this campaign, I'm looking very forward to seeing him not have any office and be able to influence public policy ever again.